Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, the president's pollster Tony Fabrizio, and James Blair, the deputy chief of staff for politics, and a bunch of other stuff. They briefed the cabinet and the senior advisors to cabinet members on Capitol Hill. You can read the full details on
including
my
what was served,
including
for
steak
food,
and chicken. Steak and chicken.
Yeah.
I always ask my sources what was served. Politico broke the story last night of the meeting, and I got a source who was there to read the full thing out for me. It was at Capitol Hill Club. And Tony Fabrizio said, gave them a laundry list of issues that they think are effective. You can read the full details of my reporting on my Substack or on my X account. But one of the people there was Bobby Kennedy. And one of the issues, two of the issues that the pollster Tony Fabrizio said really are a breakthrough for voters are cost of prescription drugs and transparency for health insurance companies. How much they actually pay off claims. All these things that people don't know about. How much the things cost. And I said Bobby Kennedy was one of the cabinet members there. A lot of talk in the last few days about Bobby Kennedy being and MAHA being a huge electoral plus in the midterms. Okay, that's out there, and talk that Bobby's going to be active. Interesting then that the Democrats are now in 5 House races where there's Republican incumbents are running an ad making a vice for the Republicans, a virtue for the Democrats, out of Bobby Kennedy. Here is this ad, cookie cutter versions running in 5 different races, we're told. This is number 110, please.
He promised to make America healthier. Instead, RFK Jr. gutted the FDA, undermining food and medicine safety. And outbreaks of measles and whooping cough are on the rise.
I don't think people should be taking medical advice from me.
No kidding. RFK Jr.'s conspiracy theories endanger us all. And while he makes us sicker, Congressman Ryan McKenzie has stood silent. Tell Congressman McKenzie, do your job and stand up for us.
So according to my source in the room, Tony Fabrizio identified the following voter groups as the keys to the election, the persuadable voters, besides turning out the base: men, moderates, true independents, and Hispanic voters. Larry, will Bobby Kennedy and the Trump health agenda be a net positive for Republicans or a net negative, as Democrats seem to think, in the midterms?
I think it's a net positive. I think that the story behind that ad is they're trying to do a preemptive strike and try to tarnish him before he gets out there. And there's sort of a psychological aspect of trying to shame all of the people who are on board with the MAHA movement to sort of defend themselves, right? And put them on their heels and put them on the defensive to say, how can you support this if they're doing all of X, Y, and Z? So my hunch is that they're trying to sort of throw mud and try to tarnish him and sort of drag him down before he can actually be effective when he gets out on the campaign trail. It might work. I don't think so.
Interesting. Kevin, net plus or net minus for the Republicans, Bobby and MAHA?
I think it's too early to tell. I mean, that is a key group that rally behind the president. I'm going to try and take over the show right now. Paul, can we play the video of Kid Rock and Bobby Kennedy working out shirtless together? Maybe that's something to play for later.
We played it last night on Two Way Tonight. It's compelling.
It was a wild, wild video.
It's wild.
One of the other interesting things that you reported, though, Mark, too, is the fact that border security is just not a motivating factor anymore. It's kind of a, the dog that caught the car. They solved the issue, and it was such a critical issue just a year and a half ago in this election. The fact that it's already gone by the wayside is interesting in terms of Tony's presentation.
We'll see. I mean, it'll take. If I can push back a little, Kevin, I think that the message needs to go out there that, number one, all of these people who are running for Congress now and the party that's supporting them claim that there wasn't a border crisis in the first place, or tried to pretend like there wasn't a problem. And if you put them back into power, it's going to make it that much harder for Trump to continue to keep that border secure. So I still think that plays in Republican hands. But you're maybe a victim of their own success.
I think they solved the issue, and people generally moved on, and people have such short memories. I mean, that's why in Rasmussen, Biden's polling 8 points better than the incumbent president right now.
You're counting on short memories.
My regular reminder that all elections are about both persuasion and turnout. This false thing that some of my colleagues say, this is just about turnout or this is just about persuasion. Every election is both. There's no doubt that MAHA inspires not just the Republican base, but appeals to a lot of independents. And the part of Bobby Kennedy, it's like that. But Bobby Kennedy it contains multitudes. And his positions on some of the issues highlighted in that Democratic ad, I don't think are popular. I don't think they do test well. Things like vaccines and some of the stuff featured there. So it's interesting. Kennedy, I think, will inspire both bases to turn out. And then I think the question is on the persuadables, is, anti-processed food, et cetera, is that more powerful as a persuasion tool than some of the stuff you see in that ad? We shall see.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.